Georgia on the logo, celebrating back-to-back Nats. Perfection wears red and black tonight. 15-0. The Dogs have done it and won a second consecutive national.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Not again.
Lead flicker to get the night started. Downfield looking for Godwin. Into his hands. And guess which Dogs are barking first? Uga, get after it.
Sonny Michel will send the Dogs home to the championship game.
And Bobo throws that thing in the end zone and
Yes! Touchdown! Touchdown in the goal line!
Sigue Ringo. Corta dentro. Ringo. Touchdown! Georgia!
The Georgia Bulldogs bludgeon their way to back-to-back. Glory, glory. Georgia, as the fight song says.
This is our love for each other. 1 + 1 = what? 3. We are better together and we are connected.
This is Robert Iron E. Singleton, a.k.a. D-Dog from The Walking Dead, or Alton from The Blind Side, and you are watching Respect the Hedges on the Fan Addict Sports Network. All right, guys, go Dogs, sick 'em. Welcome in, Dog Nation and Respect the Hedges family, to another episode of Respect the Hedges on the Fan Addict Sports Network. As always, you know, you are presented by the Tailgate Kings. Week closer to the season, the Dogs started fall camp. We're going to talk about the defensive preview, and you know we're going to start it out with the fan fight, but let's go ahead and bring our cast of characters on, man. First up in the building, my man E-Rob. What's going on, E-Rob?
Coach, what's happening, baby? Look, man, we 2 weeks away. We a little bit over 2 weeks away, man.
Dogs,
You know?
them two-time national champs about to take the field. That sounds good. That sounds good, though.
It does. It has a nice ring to it. Coach, look, let me take you into my world a little bit. So, like I told everybody last week, my kids started school last week, so I'm trying to get myself together. So over the weekend, I'm setting my alarms for this and that, boom, boom, boom. Man, so instead of setting my alarm for 2:15 p.m., bruh, I got the whole crew up at 2:30 this morning. We all upstairs. Oh man,
Listen, man, them early season cupcake games, man. We got to straighten it out.
We got to get it together, man. I got to get my life together, man. I got my whole crew up anyway. So I was kind of tired until the pre-show. I'm here, you know, how we kind of talking about what we're gonna do on the show and the fan fight. Look, man, Dog Nation, y'all need to make sure you tune in for these fan fights, because I think that we got something going on. It's a good thing. You learn more about the Dogs. I'm loving it, Coach. It was a great idea. One last thing before we pass it on. Look, the coaches voted us unanimous. Well, now I'm going to say unanimous, but we are the #1 team in the nation preseason. Kirby has to find a way, and this is why he get paid the big bucks, to make us being named the #1 team in the nation a negative, a bad thing to our players. Find a way. I don't know, Jedi mind trick. I don't know how you do it, but you figure out a way to make that a negative, so we can stay motivated and do what we're supposed to do and head towards #3.
That's right, man. Speaking of two-time champs and things of that nature and fan fights, let's go ahead and bring on the two-time fan fight champ, Mr. Shawty Parker. What's going on, Shawty?
What's happening?
Oh man.
So do what I'm gonna say, Coach. Normally we have this little time to kind of, speak about, what's going on about ourselves, yada yada yada. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit here. With great power comes great responsibility. And this guy on our panel has been put in this seat. He's been taking a lot of flack for the last 2 weeks Everybody scrutinizing what he doing and how he doing it. All I want to say is shout out to Cool Cal, man. Continue to do what you do, man. Score the game, feel like you said. Don't succumb to the pressure, man. Continue to do what you do, man. Shout out to Cool Cal.
That's it, man. That's
buttering
it.
up the judge.
Buttering up the judge. Speaking of the judge and the coolest fan in the land, man, Cool Cal, what's happening, dog?
Woo-wee. No, man, I want to go ahead and give you a point right now, but we can't do that. We got to keep this fair and impartial. But this is what I want to say real quick. Y'all been scrutinizing me a lot about this thing. I heard a couple of people beat me up about my scoring. Let me just make sure everyone understands how this works. Everyone has made great points. It's about the amount of points that you're making. So if Charlie come on there and he rip off 10 good points in 2 minutes, that's what he gets tallied for. If you come off and you get 5 good points, that's what you get tallied for. You know, I know JV did a great job last week. If I take anything away from it, we talked a little bit about it, but I just want to explain his story was great, but it took him a while to get into it. So for everyone in the future, get into your points quickly, and your points will add up.
That's it, man. Hey, it's like that, dog. Like I say, there's never a right or wrong answer as far as the question on the fan fight. It's about who can convey those points and who can convey the most of them. Listen, man. Up next, man, our guy, man. Listen, he been missing for a couple of weeks. We are glad to have him back. My guy, C8. What's up, C8?
Hey, what's happening?
C8. Got the CGI.
I think I'm gonna I gotta put a quarter in. I see if I can figure out this camera situation. But I'm back in business, man. I'm in celebration mode still. I'm trying to. Uh-oh.
There you go. Okay, I see you.
Caught him. You caught him, Nate.
I love it.
It sounds like serious business going on, this fan fight and all. I got to stay in my little corner for a little while. I'm glad to be back, man. Hey, I'm looking forward to all the talk. We got a lot to discuss. It's finally right in front of us, so I couldn't be happier. I'm just glad to be back with the guys in the locker room between these hedges. So yeah, I'm ready, baby.
Good to have you back, brother.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right,
sir.
man. Hey, man, last but not least, man. Hey, listen, a competitor who fought a hard fight, came up just a little bit shy, but he gonna get his revenge later on in the season. My guy, JV. What's going on, JV?
Fellas, what's happening, man? Boy coming in last, but I still came through the line. Limping across, but I'm here. Hey, listen, good to see you fellas. I took an L last time. I think it was kind of still an asterisk on that. But hey, listen, we'll take an L just the same. And then we'll come back and we'll fight another day, man. Looking forward to a great show. I know we're going to bring it. Let's get it.
That's right, man. That's right, man. Hey, listen, we going to do it. Y'all know how we start this thing out, man. Like, shout out to the dogs that's watching on Facebook. Shout out to the dogs watching on YouTube. However you get it, make sure you get it every week, man. Listen, this fan fight up first, man. We know how we get it down now. And it's called a fan fight for a reason. He done took on 2 of the cast members, came out on top, but we brought in a fan that's ready to rumble with him. Y'all listen, man. Y'all watch this show every week. Y'all know who be up first in the comments. But today, she gonna take her stab and try to take down the champ. We talking about Shelby. What's going on, Shelby?
Yo.
Hey, y'all.
What it do?
What's up, First Lady?
Listen.
First Lady.
Listen.
Here we go.
Thad is a formidable opponent. He really is. And unfortunately, the kiss ass was a little much.
At the gate.
Now, my mama is watching, and she about to text me because I cussed.
Sorry. I'm going to start you off with 2 points. I like that.
I'm ready to give my boy a shout out about the pressure. I can't believe y'all took it as that.
Hey, man. Listen, we're going to go ahead and get into it, man.
It was ridiculous. Like,
listen, man, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. We ain't gonna belabor. Let's get this fan fight going, man, before we jump into these dog topics, man.
Right.
We got the fan fight. We're gonna talk about fall camp. Then we're gonna talk about some recruiting updates. We got it all, man. Like I say, y'all make sure y'all tune it in every single Tuesday, man. From now to the end of the season, y'all can get this good content. So today's fan fight is between Thad, the resident champ, and our newcomer Shelby, and it is most underrated UGA defensive player under Kirby Smart since he's been there. So most underrated defensive player at UGA since Kirby has been there. Cool Cal got the ring. Go ahead,
Coach. I thought that was my part.
Oh, my bad. You supposed to say it?
Oh.
Somebody's in the video.
I'm in the video. Hey,
go ahead, man. Go ahead, Coach.
Producer fight.
All right. Again, man, welcome, Shelby. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you. Real quick, I'm going to go over the rules real quick so everybody understands. So you're going to get 2 minutes for your first round. Make your points concise, as quick as possible. That's what I recommend because that's what I'm scoring on. After we go through the first round, we'll have that tally, and then we'll have an additional bonus round where you have an additional minute to make some more points and get some additional points. So good luck to you. Good luck to Shawty. So you getting loose over there. But again, I'm gonna repeat the question. And Shawty, since you the champ, you get to decide you want to go first or you want to defer.
I'm gonna defer to the first lady. She is the first lady.
Okay, first lady.
And the winner. So go ahead.
Okay, all right. I like it. So the most underrated UGA defensive player in the Kirby Smart era. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the clock. 3, 2, 1, go, Shelby.
So my choice for the most underrated player is none other than Channing Tindall. Channing Tindall was #1 in South Carolina. He was 23 in the nation. He was also one of the 5 finalists for Mr. Football in the state of South Carolina, which doesn't really equate to underrated, but here's why I say he's underrated. He never started a game for the University of Georgia. He played behind Monty Rice, Natrez Patrick, Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker. When you're in a room with that much talent, you got to take advantage of every opportunity, and that is what he did. Let's talk about his freshman year. 17 tackles, 2 sacks. It wasn't great. It was a mediocre year for UGA standards. By the time he made it to his senior year, he was the 3rd leading tackler on the team with 67 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Let's talk about what he did against the Orange Oompa Loompas of Tennessee. 5 sacks in 2021. Also 8 tackles. 8 tackles. I apologize. 8 tackles against the Tennessee team. He also had 8 tackles in 2021 season championship game. 1 we'll talk about in round 2 because I got a little something for y'all. He also had 3 tackles for loss in that Tennessee game. He was on the All-SEC second team, and he was drafted in the 3rd round. It doesn't really get more underrated than that when you are so great in your state and you never start.
You still got 20 more seconds if you want.
I defer.
Oh, wow. She stopped short of the clock.
Okay.
Short of the clock. Let me go ahead and start this thing over real quick. All I want to do is say, I don't know what the score is, but excellent round. So, Shawty, you're going to get your 2 minutes in. Most underrated defensive player in the Kirby Smart era. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, let's talk about the definition of underrated. Not rated or valued enough. She started off with a contradiction. #1 player in the nation. In high school, he ended up he was the 3rd in leading in tackles. None of this stuff is underrated. Drafted in the 3rd round, all second, all SEC. None of that stuff is underrated. I'm gonna give you a guy who's underrated. He played 14 to 15 games as a freshman, mainly on special teams. Sophomore year, 12 or 15 games. This guy is actually still on the roster. Chaz Chambliss. And y'all know who I'm talking about. The guy who I know him to give a lot of AT double hockey stick, but I didn't realize the kid was a freshman. By his sophomore year, which was last year, he started to come on. He played against Florida and Tennessee when Nolan got hurt, who was a first rounder at the jack position. He playing one of the toughest positions on the team, which is the J. He replaced Nolan during the Florida and the Tennessee game. Had 7 tackles for a loss and a sack. Those are decent numbers for a guy that don't have that much experience coming in like that, right? So Chad, not only that, Chad Chambliss, he has the best thing that you can't coach. What's the best ability you can have, Shelby? Availability. Availability. He comes in when guys are not able to play. I'm talking about studs. Anytime somebody get hurt, he comes in and plays. That's the best ability that you can have is availability. That's why this kid is underrated. He plays one of the hardest positions on the team. We don't have a first rounder and a third rounder drafted in front of him at that same position. He playing one of the toughest positions on the team, and he's able to come in anytime anybody get hurt. That's an underrated player.
Good. Man, great round. Great round. Great round. Highly contested. Highly contested. Give me 2 seconds. Let me load this clock up. We're going to get 1 more minute. Gonna get 1 more minute in. All I got to just tell the viewers is very, very close, very close. Great points by both of you guys. I like the players that you picked. So we're going to go with 1 more minute, Shelby. We're going to go with you in 3, 2, 1, go.
I want to talk about one of Channing Tindall's greatest hits. It was against Alabama in the championship game. It is 7:43 left in the first half. It's 6-3 Alabama. Bryce Young has methodically gotten them down the field. It is 3rd and goal from the 5.5. Channing Tindall comes off the block, completely untouched, gets Bryce Young off his mark, and sacks him at the 21-yard line. They settle for a field goal. That could be a defining point in that game. Had they gone up 13-3, that game could have changed. We could have lost that game. Channing Tindall is the most underrated. He didn't start that game. I also want to talk about one thing he said, and it's a quote which really encapsulates his play as a teammate and as a player. When people were talking about transferring.
Sorry.
Okay.
You could finish. Go ahead. I stopped the clock, but go ahead.
That's okay. So when they were asking him, why don't you leave? He said, from Coach Smart to Coach Schumann, I trust them wholeheartedly. I mean, I feel like they're going to give us a win every week, no matter what. We have full trust in our coaches. We know they've been doing this for a very long time. Who am I to tell the coaches what they should do? I'm just getting here. They've been here forever. I've been here, 3 years? So I'm definitely going to lean on the experience that they have. I choose to come here, and now it's time to listen to them and do what we've got to do to get the job done.
Great. Just so everybody knows, I did stop the clock. I just wanted her to go ahead and finish her point. So she did have a minute. So nobody think there was anything funny going on. This clock has been stopped. I just wanted to hear what she had to say.
The mouth didn't stop, though. I know the clock stopped, but the mouth didn't stop.
The clock, which means the scoring stopped. I'm the one that's controlling that side. That's why I wanted to make sure it was transparent. That's why I raised my hands, and I just allowed her to finish saying what she wanted to say, but the clock stopped, as well as the scoring. Okay, everybody. So, got 1 minute, Shawty. Go ahead and rewind this thing. So we're gonna start 3, 2, 1, go.
Listen, man, I'm gonna keep it very, very simple. Once again, the topic is about being underrated. This guy she talking about he just keep making plays. I don't know how he's underrated. But with that being said, I'm gonna say this right here. The thing about Chaz is this right here. At the end of the day, what makes him so underrated, no matter how much he get on the field, he's projected to start this year. Guess what? Just like another guy we had, we want to replace him with another 5-star, Marvin Jones Jr., somebody like that. No matter what this kid does, no matter how good he is, he's projected to start at the hardest position. He's the only old head, and we still want to replace him. With that being said, that's why he's underrated. He keep rising to the top, and we want to replace him. That should remind y'all of somebody.
10 seconds left.
I think I made my points, so I made them pretty clear, man. We're expecting a lot, and at the end of the day, we want to replace them. And that should remind everybody of somebody.
Okay. I got your point on it. That's a good point. I know where you're going with it. We always wanted to replace Stetson until he won us 2 championships. But just wanted to say,
go ahead. Win 3. And this guy has a chance to win 3.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to say, man, it was a close game. Excellent points by both sides. Both you guys did a really, 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 really great job. The final score is about to come on in to Coach, and Coach can go ahead and announce that final score as I send it to him.
Hey, look, man, before the score, let me just give Shelby, thank you for coming on, sweetheart. You did a hell of a job. And, oh, man, let's go.
First of all, man, let's just go ahead and throw this out here. This is why men cannot win arguments, because she's so clear and articulate and in her delivery. Like, I'm just like on that alone, I think we put at a disadvantage. No more ladies in fan fight. Ladies got to go head to head.
I think I smoked, so I think I smoked. I want to hear underrated. I ain't hear nothing underrated. I heard a ball.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. You should feel that way, Spence.
Hey, my favorite line was still availability was my favorite. He cheated with that. He set up with that one. It was a setup. Shelby, you want to try to answer that?
Listen, man. Both of them had some great points, dog. There was a couple of times, like the availability was a good one. Shelby came out swinging. So according to the official score in the fan fight today, Pat with 6 and Shelby with 8. We got us a new winner. Shelby is the winner of the fan fight. What do you have to say for yourself?
Wow. You know what? I just want to thank all the fans for coming out and helping me out. And listen, I had fun.
Wow.
I did. I had fun. It was great.
She called a shot.
Oh, man, I'm loving
it. She did call her shot.
She put in a favor for that.
Listen, the availability comment.
I thought he won with availability.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It was good, but at the end of the day, it may have been the best individual comment, but it's still 1 point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was smooth, it was good, and all of that. But Shelby came out within the first 5 seconds. She was firing. She had a,
that stuff was underrated. She even said herself, well, that's not really underrated. I'm like, man, she don't contradict herself in the first 5.
Bro, you just praised my score, and now all of a sudden you're gonna critique me.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You just gave me a great speech to start the show.
No, I'm just making a point. That was just what happened. That's all. I'm not critiquing. I'm just saying that's what happened.
Oh my!
I said he never started. It's true.
That's good. That's underrated.
Welcome to Respect the Hedges fan fight.
We love it.
In, man. Y'all, all of y'all show up late. Y'all better get here early, boy, because the fan fight get rough and rowdy right in.
Hey, man, that should have been minus.
So he explained the point system in the beginning.
I like that.
That's right. And because Shelby is the first lady of Respect the Hedge, we're gonna you can stay on the show for sure, Shelby, if you because we already know you was gonna be in the comments.
I mean, I was already gonna be in the comments. I was about to get off.
That's right. So I was gonna say that, Shawty, I actually like the replacement comment.
I did too.
Better than the availability comment.
I thought he had me.
Y'all can just keep dropping gems. It's okay.
I mean, you got points for him. You got points for him. But you got to realize you spent 45 seconds talking about how her points weren't good. You don't get points for that.
Fair enough.
And I did have
right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right.
I like it.
Hey, you made Cal give you the duck lips.
He just came on here praising me, and I ain't bashing it, boy.
He really did.
I never said anything.
Oh my God. We are off the rails.
That's right.
I've never said anything bad.
Get back on the rails, fellas, ladies. Let's get on the rails. Let's go.
No disrespect to Hedges news and events this week, so we're moving on to recruiting. Cal and E-Rob, any updates in recruiting this week?
Hey, some big news. We got some big news with a recruit that we didn't get. So over the weekend, KJ Bolden was, everybody was looking to see what he was going to do. He ended up going to Florida State, so we lost out on that. But then, how Kirby does when we lose some, we gain some. So a few days later, we picked up a commitment from a 5-star running back from out in California, Matter Day, powerhouse out there. They're always good. So I did watch some tape on this young man, and yeah, I mean, he's a 5-star, and when he looks like a 5-star. So great vision, great explosion. So, RBU.
That's right. Cal, you got anything in recruiting?
Not much more. It was kind of a quiet week. Obviously, like we said, we lost. But I do believe we lost another commitment to
Peyton
Woodyard. Yeah, he's the other safety. So he decommitted as well. But this is the thing about recruiting. It's August right now. It could happen to another guy or two, but at the end of the day, man, Kirby gonna close it up. We all know that, So it's solid. We're gonna have a number 1, number 2 class again. And but other than that, no, I wasn't much going on this week.
Okay, yeah, we did lose Peyton Warrior, but like you said, it's only August, and Kirby is one of the best closers in the business. And so, there may be a couple more that leave the dog nest, but don't fret. Kirby will have a plan for all of that. He doesn't like. I don't think Kirby like to let bad news sit out there too long, because we always get a.
You notice that, Coach? You notice that?
right after
every time there's some bad news. Yeah.
Go ahead, Shelby.
But there is some recruiting information with Florida State. You might want to keep watch, because it's been reported that Florida State is direct depositing some money into a high school student's account. So you might want to check that out.
Look at Shelby with the inside.
Right.
With a double scoop.
Shelby, a whistleblower. He made that call.
I didn't blow the whistle. He told somebody who has now made a recording about it on YouTube. It wasn't me.
Oh, wow.
And then if you noticed, which somebody brought it up to my attention today, KJ Bolden had on Balenciaga. Did anybody notice that? Y'all don't know what Balenciaga is.
Hey, that's
we know what it is.
I know it's expensive.
We just thought it might have been a knockoff.
It wasn't. It was not.
They get it like that though.
So just to say, I mean,
not
just letting y'all know.
Though. They should be getting like that in high school.
Shelby, Ben Shaw said Shelby on her data privacy. Look, she is all up in the business. Hey, we appreciate.
I'm just telling you what has been.
Right.
That's right. We appreciate the intel for sure, though. Hey, we here now. Let's get into these dog topics, man. Let's talk about Dogs Fall Camp. CA, you've been through some fall camps yourself, man. Just tell me, what is it like coming back from summer, going into this? What are these players experiencing right now?
I can only assume these guys want to compete and try to win a job. That's the main focus of every kid coming into camp. You get an opportunity to show the coaches that your off season just wasn't hanging out and drinking with your friends and partying, trying to celebrate. You want to show some growth. So, this is a crucial time for young players like it is every season. You got to get out, show, improve. It's only 11 slots on the field at a time. So, I think it's competition. That's what it's always been about. When you look at how Kirby looks at each individual position, everybody's got to go out there, compete and battle. Being physical has always been important, but, your offseason is going to dictate how physical you can be. So I used to look forward to it, when I'm going against a guy like E-Rob, my freshman year, not really ready for it, but he going to choke me out anyway. Whether I got to go against a guy like that that's way faster than me, but, I'm trying to get out there and get it anyway. It's all about competing, enjoying the time and getting better. So, I know the guys are anxious and chomping at the bit. The coaches are ready to install and get, these guys acclimated, because that season sneaks up on you quick. So you better get ready, because it is still the SEC.
That's right. Hey, and speak to a lot of times as fans, we think about when players go out there, the offense competing against the defense. I like to say, all y'all played, man. Shawty, what is this wide receiver room going through right now? Because it's not no guaranteed spots under Kirby. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just the defense they competing against; they competing against other guys in that room.
And the main thing, Coach, at this particular time of the year, barring injury, everybody's there. That's why it kicks up another notch. Everybody's in the room who you got to compete against and who you need to learn from and get better from. And honestly, with the depth that they have, I'm be honest with you, it has to be a fun place to be. If you're a competitor and you like the position and playing receiver, what I'm saying, I always say it's a craft. It's a little bit different than other things. It's a craft. It's almost like a dance, a physical dance. And being able to be in that room and learn things from different players, it's just going to add to your own game. And when you get ready, you'll just actually be ready to let the next move be the best move type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, definitely feel that, JV. There's some competition going on for more snaps at that tight end room. We know Brock Bowers is going to be out there, but we got three guys, Delp, Lucky, and Pierce, all trying to get this PT. That tight end room, man. We'll talk about that tight end room fall camp.
Well, just like Thad and CA just kind of put out there, man. One thing that you can rest your laurels on is that the competition is going to be thick. And here's the deal, Coach. If you love competition, you're going to come and play at a program like UGA. You're going to play at programs that set the bar for every other program across the country, right? You want to go to a program where other schools are putting your name up in their locker room, even if they don't have you on the schedule. And as far as that competition, if you're a guy who's not afraid of competition, then you love these type of spots, because not only am I going out there to prove a point, but I'm going to cheer on the other guys that are in that room too. No jealousy, no hate. When you make a play, I'm celebrating. I'm your biggest cheerleader. When it's time for me to do it, they doing the same thing, because that's going to only make us better. Some of those guys bring different aspects to the game, different things that actually make them successful and can make them successful on a play-by-play basis that as a player, I'm going to look and I'm going to adopt within my game. So that's going to make the whole room better. In short, we just call it iron sharpening iron. What's going to happen? Because we already know we got the man with the plan out there, right? We got Mr. Brock Bowers. He gonna talk the mayor. Everybody know what he got to offer. But when we're looking at Mr. Lucky, we're looking at Delp, we're looking at Spruill. All of these gentlemen have a chance to make an impact. Number one, like Shawty said, they're available. The ability that they have, all of them have right now, is availability, because they're going to be there. But they're going to be able to fight it out for those reps to be able to call themselves a letterman at the end of the year, because they're going to qualify for those for that title. So I'm looking forward, man. I think it's going to be a great room. I think they're going to really show and prove out there this year. But them being in camp is going to be great to see. I'm looking forward to see who's going to really snatch out them secondary reps.
That's right, man. I just want to give a shout out to some of the dogs in the comments. Katlyne Hill, she's a respected Hedges crew member. She was watching the fan fight, cheering on Shelby. My guy Stacy Derrico said, "Congratulations, Shelby." Lance, Bill Brew in the house. What's going on, Lance? And we got my guy Dutch in the house. Dutch is in the house. He said he's a big fan of the wide receiver room, man. On the other side of that wide receiver room, E-Rob, them DBs, man. Like, we know Lassiter got a spot. We know Starks and Bullet at the safety. But that other spot, who you looking at for that other spot? The other corner spot over there. Who you like for it?
So right now it's Nyland, number one, and actually like three guys, number 1, number 12, and number 6, and their names are of course escaping me right now. But so that's what I love.
12 is Humphrey and 6 is not. Yeah. So 12 is Humphrey. Just for the people out there, 12 is the Julian Humphrey. Yeah, okay. And 6 is Everett.
Dalen Everett.
Yep. Sorry, Ebro.
See, and that's what, like, when we do have position, it's not just one guy kind of sliding for. There are three guys, what I like to call gladiator school. So there's that. So whoever comes out and wins that position, I have total confidence in him because I know that who he had to beat out, what he had to do, the consistency that he would have had to have shown day in, day out to win that job. It's going to make him a great player. And we see it year in, year out. Kirby is, I mean, our DB play is excellent. I mean, we got guys winning the Thor. I think that Stark's going to be one of those guys that's going to I think he's going to have a big year this year. So I think he's going to do some special things. We know what Bullard can do. I mean, so that room is really, 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 really deep. So I can't wait to see kind of how things develop in the fall here in camp. You know, there's a lot of talent there. Kirby has been known. You got Will Muschamp over there. They've been known to kind of get that room to play above the standard. So let's see if we can do it again.
All right, we got a comment. We got a question from the comments for you, Erod. Is that corner position an upgrade from Keely Ringo? Whoever might start out there. Yeah.
Ask me that in December. Those guys haven't played, man. Whatever people want to say about Ringo made plays for 3 years. Say what you want to say. He got drafted the way he got drafted for a reason. I didn't draft him. You know what I'm saying? So the guys that make those decisions did that. So we'll see.
There it is. Good question. Hey, that's always good when they come in to be better than a second rounder, first rounder, or something like that. No, I'm down with that.
That's good for Georgia. Yep.
That's right, man.
That's great for Georgia.
So let's talk about some of these defensive impact players, Cal and Shelby. Cal, who we need to be an impact player on that defense?
I'm gonna be honest with you. We need anybody to be an impact player. But really, when you break it down though, like, you know, let's look at the last couple of years. You know, we had different types of teams. You know, I'm always interested to kind of see what type of team is going to develop this year. And this is where you kind of, you know, get a start of that in the camp. You know, are we going to be as dominant defensively as we were a couple of years ago? Or are we going to be able to go out and outscore anybody like we were last year? So I'm really interested to see how we're going to develop in those areas. But a couple of the big names, like E-Rob said, I'm looking for Starks to have an All-American kind of year. I think he's got that kind of ability. We've seen it. I don't know if he kind of maybe hit a little wall a little bit last year, you know, going through that SEC schedule. But as far as ability and going out there, I've heard him speak. He's got great leadership, you know, so I like his intangibles. Bullard's out there. Michael Williams up front. I'm looking for him to have an all SEC type year. I'm looking for him to really get after it. So, but again, it goes back, man. It's competition. It doesn't really matter who it is. You know, I'm interested to see what new guys are going to come in this year too and be able to help us out. You know, like Bowers and like Starks have the last couple of years. Who's going to be that guy that just comes right in, doesn't have to wait their turn? They crack right into the lineup because it's going to be somebody. Yeah. And I'm just interested to see what position and who it's going to be this year.
Okay, Shelby, who are you looking at to be an impact player on that defense this year?
Okay, so fun fact, y'all. I like hitting people. This is just me. For y'all that don't know, I box. So I love to hit people. I want more sacks.
Okay. You want more what?
Listen. I want This is not the after dark. This is before dark.
Right. You got people's mamas watching now.
Right. Quarterback sacks. That's what I want to see. Because I don't like there's just something about getting in the quarterback's face and hitting him and mushing his face in the ground that just brings kind of a tear to my eye a little bit. That's what I want. Like before Tennessee, we weren't that good. I mean, we were hurrying them, but we weren't really, pushing them down. So I want to see a lot more quarterback sacks. I need at least 2 a game or 3. I'm okay with that. So I need that defensive line to really get in the weight room, run them steps, whatever y'all got to do. But I need to see some more quarterback sacks this year because last year it was not good.
I definitely feel that. I definitely feel that. So Ben Shaw asks, is Tyke Smith going to play this year? Tyke is healthy, currently in a battle with Jonel Aguero, true freshman, for that star position. That's who we're looking at for that star position. So, hey, like these fellas have said, the competition began last Wednesday. They 6 days in. It's all about who most consistent and show up every day in practice. And Kirby is for sure running them dudes through the ringer. We got a question. Dutch got a comment. Dutch say Stackhouse is underrated. He's the key to me. So, Shawty, you actually mentioned one of the previous shows of how we may not have, that big name guy on the D line, but we got a lot of depth there. But is Stackhouse one of those guys you looking forward to try to be an impact up there, up front of that front seven?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's his time. He's one of those guys, to kind of go back to your original question. The way that I think that we recruit and as deep as we are, we need to have a stud at every level of the defense. Stud at safety, stud at corner, stud at linebacker, stud on the D line, stud at D end. That's 4 or 5 studs, 5, 6 studs on defense, and it's hard to beat a defense like that. But just to answer your question, yeah, for sure, Stackhouse, it's his time.
That's right. Sean D, what's up, Sean D? Sean D, get in and say something. He's curious to see what that interior defensive line look like. From what I've been hearing from all the UGA media and pundits and stuff, we may not have the Jalen Carters or the Davises, but we're deeper than Kirby might have ever been at that D line. So just a question here from the comments, and shout out to Alan Pepper. CA, I'll let you take a stab at it. He says, do you think, basically asking, is the 2023 defense possibly better than 2022?
That's obviously to be determined. As far as talent, we could be more talented, but we won't be able to see it until it's actually revealed. We need to see what type of pressure we can create. I think the defensive line has a high opportunity to be successful because of all of the talent around the D line. That linebacker room is foolish right now. I like what Pop is looking for. I like what Samar Munden is ready to do this year. And, we're 2 and 3 deep, inside and out. And then when you combine that with that veteran leadership in my secondary, Bullet and Starks are going to give us an opportunity to take a lot of chances when we feel like it. So when we decide to create pressure off the edge, that's going to free up these D linemen in some one-on-one matchups. Stackhouse and the crew, they'll get a chance to show themselves. So that's the beauty of defense just by nature. It's going to show and prove, who the studs are. We don't have to trick. We're just going to line up and play, and we'll let everything else kind of reveal itself. But I'm excited. I think the defense can be just as talented, but we got to do it on the field. And that's a lot to live up to when you consider these last 2 years. So, we got the schedule to do it, so we'll just see how it plays out.
That's right. You're right about that. Indeed. Hey, statistically, that 22 defense, I know 2021 was an all-time great, but statistically, 2022 was right there with them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't hold as many teams like goose eggs or whatever, but they was right there with them. Glenn Mercer gets in, say, Go Dogs. What's going on, Glenn? Shout out to Glenn. Let's talk about some newcomers, JV. What newcomers on that defense you looking forward to seeing?
Man, I tell you this defense, we just breed, we breed a different type of dog. When you step on campus, it don't really matter what your stars are because we already know everybody is highly rated. But when you get into a room, you get into a building, you get onto a field with guys that are literally some of the best in the nation, you can't help but step your game up. And so with that being said, man, that DB room, I think, is going to be one of our most talented rooms, period. And I'm looking forward to seeing a few guys, seeing if they can contribute, because we have some guys that are just going to be hardcore staples in that defensive backfield. But I always love to see depth being bred, especially early in the season. And we kind of got a whole season full of first beginning of the season teams. I'm looking at I had a little technical difficulty. I lost some lighting.
Oh, we still can see you. You good.
Boom, I'm back. But I'm looking forward to seeing AJ Harris, seeing if he can come in and compete a little bit. Freshman out of Phoenix City, Alabama. Just give him a shout out also, man, because guys out of Alabama don't get a lot of love from around the way, but they come to play. Your boy, most notably. And then the second guy, that I want to talk about, man, is freshman D lineman Jamal Jarrett, 6'5", 350 pounds. You know, a big guy being that big. I want to see, is he going to be able to move and learn, bend, and explode? If he can do that, then he can contribute on that D line because we are already deep. But when you have a true guy that big who can still come in and play as a freshman, then you got to look out for some. So I'm looking forward to those two guys.
Okay, John Jarrett been catching it from Kirby on the microphone lately here at practice. Because like you said, he is 350, borderline 360. So Kirby, you know, has some experience with that with Jordan Davis. He's trying to keep him down for the season so he can be a 3-down guy, not just a 2-down guy. So he's been hard on him. Cal, any newcomers you looking forward to on this defense?
Honestly, man, this thing gonna be hard to crack, man.
Chad,
maybe he gonna be a newcomer for the 4th year in a row.
Shawty gonna win the argument while y'all keep playing.
Right, because hey, Shawty, clearly it ain't over. Clearly it's not over.
Hey, check out what's the main T?
I'm thinking about I was trying to think of the guy's name.
What number?
I think it's Damon Wilson, the DN.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking at him as a guy maybe that can come in and play just because he's a guy I think that may be able to bend and get some pressure for us. I think that he may be able to pay some big dividends down the road. But as far as like other newcomers, I just don't see, I don't care how good you were, I don't see a lot of guys just coming in and cracking this lineup. But he's maybe a guy I think that could maybe contribute and help us on down the line for the season.
Okay, yeah. Dutch get in and say, don't forget about Dirty Dan in that safety fight. Hey, listen.
Hey, that's my most underrated player. I was like, hold up, man. Dan got in there and he didn't fuck it up. He didn't blow it.
Hey, Dan got that.
Threw a crucial block. Come on, man. Special team demon.
Man,
hey, that's what we're talking about. Hey, he got in the way, dog. That's all the block is.
That's a black county, Rob.
Listen, as long as he don't make the tackle, it was a block. You know what I'm saying? And Alum Pepper gets back in and say they won't be able to keep Aguero off the field. Aguero, from the reports, have been looking good at that star position. So when we talking about newcomers, man, this dude might be up in there. Like, he could be starting day one. That's kind of why Kirby moved. He said move Bullet to safety. It wasn't about what Bullet could do at safety. It's about what other people pretty much couldn't do at safety, but they could do at the star position because Bullet could play all of them. You know what I'm saying?
You know what that do to your depth? What they do for your depth to have a freshman come in and do that?
Yes, sir.
That's big time. That's big time.
Yes, sir.
Listen, it's one of the reasons why we scan some of these safeties off, dog, because we deep back there. Like, it's a lot of guys. Y'all named a lot of guys. We need to talk about, Chris Jones, the running back / cornerback that E-Rob talked about, one we recruited. We talked about Justin Rhett last year, was a 4-star DB who they showed a picture of this dude. He looked like he played middle linebacker. I don't know if he's trying to switch positions or what's going on, but the muscle is all there. And then for newcomer, for me, it's got to be somebody on that edge room. We got to get some pressure like Shelby was talking about. We got Marvin Jones Jr. Technically he was there last year, but he's going to be a newcomer because he ain't played no meaningful snaps. Damian Harris, Samuel Mpemba. Like, we got somebody has to step up. While Chaz Chambliss is the staple on one end.
Or either Marvin
That's
Jones.
what I'm saying.
Stay healthy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. While Chaz is the staple on the other side, we got to have somebody on the opposite side from him. So somebody's got to get on the field and somebody's going to have to do it. So that's what I think. As far as the next thing, man, strongest position group. Shelby, I don't know if this is as easy an answer as this might seem.
It's not.
What do you think the strongest defensive position group is?
Oh,
we put you on the spot out here.
I know, this is tough. Okay, I'm gonna go and this is only because of the coach. I'm going linebacker.
Good choice.
Because
inside, outside.
I was about to say inside linebacker or
I'm
outside
saying
linebacker.
Outside. I think
Glenn Schumann.
That Glenn Schumann is, I mean, his work speaks for itself. How many NFL players has he coached? I think he's had one every year that he's been at Georgia, or more than one. That if I was a parent of a linebacker whose son wanted to go to the NFL, I would choose Georgia because of Glenn Schumann.
I got you. Hey, that's a good group. That's a good group. Shawty, what you got on it? What you think the strongest group is on defense?
Man, that's tough because I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna say the inside linebacker group.
That's a good one too.
That's what I was going with. And you talking about putting folks in the league? Look at the caliber of people we've been putting in the league. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it would have been the inside linebacker group.
I like that too. CA, what you thinking, man? What group you think might come out of there that bit that strong? We got a lot. We deep everywhere, CA. That's the question.
You're right. I'm not going to beat a dead horse because I agree with what Thad said. I like the inside backers more than anybody just because of the experience, what's returning and what's still in the cupboard. So, I mean, we're deep everywhere, just like you said, but I'll pick that inside backer group.
E-Rob, you staying with the linebacker theme or are you going with your position group?
Coach, that's where I was gonna go, man, because that inside linebacker, they're tried and true. You know what I'm saying? We know what they are, and they're just getting better and better. So that would be that group. And then I think I didn't get a chance to say my newcomer, and he's an inside linebacker too, Raylan Wilson. I think that he's probably gonna be that next dude at the inside linebacker position. But you know, bump all that. Now the strongest position group is gonna be those DBs. Y'all are throwing them sorry ass linebackers. Hell no. It's some DBs. We 3 deep. We deep everywhere. Y'all know what it is. We're gonna hold it down. The no-fly zone. DBs all day. Man, y'all must be. What y'all think about, man?
Don't throw the hat up. That's a signal.
That's a signal. Don't throw
Listen,
the hat up. Don't throw the hat up.
Listen, I was like, do we need to go? What do we need to do?
Hey, where the water at? I need to take me a quick swim.
I know.
I got a chair. I got a
Alan
folding
Pepper say with the week schedule, our young team has all season to get experience and get better and get ready to win another natty. The front
quarterback. That's true.
That's right. And I think, you know, like Shawty just said, man, the quarterback on the other side, which we're going to talk about that offense next week, but that quarterback will have some time to get ready. But that defense, you know, Kirby going to have that defense ready, man. So we got a couple minutes left, man. Any of y'all former player guys want to share any fall camp war stories with the fans to tell them how it was?
Hey, I'll jump in the fire first, man. Let me tell you something. I came out of high school a heavy 195 pounds coming into UGA, thinking I was going to get ready to walk in that thing and start at tight end in the SEC. And I had a rude awakening. I walked into a room, first of all, of tight ends that was already 270 and almost 280 pounds. I saw DBs that were 235 pounds and 240-pound DBs, and I absolutely almost turned my stuff in after that first day because I got done so dirty by Landis Sims. I had never felt that kind of power in somebody's hands before on my chest. So
he grabbed you like a grown man, didn't
he? He grabbed me like he had been on Earth about 35 years. That's all I gotta say. I have never felt anything like that before. So, you know, a lot of these guys, they come into the camp sessions, man, and they really, I think things are a little bit different these days. These guys come in actually physically looking the part and being where we weren't. I know I wasn't. And because of that, you know, I think that's how they're able to play. And that's how they're able to go out there and be productive like they are when they come into a program like we have now. But I'm telling you, man, being 195, I gained 25 pounds in 2.5 weeks, man. Wasn't nobody going to do me like that again. I was not going to be on a milk cart, and I was not going to be on Maury talking about how bad I got beat at UGA.
I think it was some girls in my dorm that were one.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I knew that.
Shout it if you can remember back, man. First day, freshman year, fall camp, man. What's going through your mind, dog?
I can't really just give you nothing like that. But what I will do is I give you a story about playing with a future Hall of Famer and just recognizing the athleticism. Thinking that you're an athlete and just knowing that there's a different level of athleticism. So one day, as a freshman, we was in practice, and I think I maybe had got a reverse. And me being very fast and quick, very shifty. I don't know if you hear a story when people be like, yeah, to them, the game slows down. You kind of can be able to see things, see people move before they move. So as I had the ball, that's what's going on. It's really like, I already know what's going on. I see Champ Bailey coming down. It's like they're like cover two. So he's shooting down on the sweep. And I already in my mind know what move I'm finna do to make him miss. But what he did was that I had never ever seen I had happen to me. Where he leaped from to tackle me from the place I was thinking about where I had to do my move. You know what I'm saying? So he had already leaped before I could actually react. With Mofo, I had already, you boom off split on, you don't miss me. You know what I'm saying? But before I could even do, he had to leap and left his feet. And I was just like, damn, it's just something that has always stood with me for the rest of my whole life. And just, me that when you think you're always an athlete, there's levels to this. And it's a reason why the man was a Hall of Fame.
Hey, big facts, man.
That's
big facts. Hey, Chaplin and Bailey boy, the rest of them Bailey boys just different athletically. So, E-Rob, can you think back to first day of fall camp, dog, at UGA? What's going through your mind, dog?
So I'm not gonna go to my first day. I'm gonna go to, this was like my second or third year, man. Is that Georgia heat, man? People was catching cramps and going, whatever. It was, man. So we had our first practice. I'm in the bed sleeping before the second practice. So I'm laying there, and before I know it, like from my neck to my toes, bro.
I knew where it was going.
When I take from my neck, every muscle in my body to my toe, dog, they had to carry me out of the damn dorm, put me in the back of somebody's car, and drive me over.
Damn.
to the training room. Dog, like 5 or 6 IVs. Dog, but look, here's the crazy thing. So that's funny. Yeah, that happened to me. When I go into the training room, it's like 8 other dudes did it before me. They passed that, throwing up. So yeah, that's UGA. So when people say that we get to go for free, how free does that sound?
Oh my God, bro! Listen, I can only imagine that Georgia heat and y'all out there practicing. Y'all was doing what 2, 3, 4 days and all that stuff, dog. Hey, but it is what it is, man. The price you pay to be a D1 athlete, man. Anybody got anything else before we wrap this show up, man? It's been a good one from the fan.
Yeah.
They taking that creatine like it was like sunflower seed.
Yes, we would.
That creatine dehydrate the hell out of you.
And then you go practice it.
You had to put on that weight, though, JP.
That's where that 25 pounds came from, baby.
No doubt about it. That's the first thing I thought about when you said that.
CA, we didn't hear your story.
I feel like that was on purpose. I was glad. I didn't want to give one. I'm reliving horror stories while they talk. I'm like, no, man. I mean, those memories of I've been on that table cramped up before. Training camp, man, that can go a lot of different ways if you ain't ready for it. I remember being out there and just, that first time, you can't be ready. These kids now, it's a much different environment. They do the 7-on-7. They compete at a high level in high school, try to get on the map early. That exposure give them a chance to get accustomed to that competition. Back in the mid to early 90s, when I came out, man, we weren't ready unless you had a chance to face that before. So my first camp was hell. Like I said, I'm getting choked out by E-Rob. I'm getting choked out by every cornerback on out, Carlos Yancey, Buster Owens, everybody. It was getting a big portion of what I had up under my face mask. And I had to figure out that next camp, I'm like, no, it's over with. We're going to fight before you do that. The play ain't big enough for you to do me that way no more. I ain't allowing this. Let me get in the weight room. I got to get my eating right. Everything had to change just to be prepared for that, man. And, it's either going to be a horror story or a success story. You're either going to gain or you're going to lose. So you better do everything you can because everybody around you is fighting for the same thing. And it's all fun and games, but it's only 11 spots. And I remember being out there, I love you, but again, I know me and Erik gonna go to war. But at the same time, in special teams, we both gunners. So we right here in the line together, baby. We still dogs, and we still fighting for the same goal. It's just gonna require that iron to sharpen iron, man. And it ain't gonna always be fun and games. It's love, but it's gonna be tough. And if you can't find joy in that, man, you better find somewhere to play. Yeah, you might want to go somewhere else, baby.
Hey, Coach, before you say that, it's funny you say that. See, this was one thing that we did. Like what he said is so very, very true. And our thing was this right here. When somebody made a great play on you, like how we know we there to dog each other out, we might punch you or slap you real hard, but we'll say good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hey, iron sharpening iron. Iron sharpening iron. So, hey, man, we appreciate the Dog Nation sticking with us. I hope I can get a little bonus for y'all today. Our resident co-host, CA, was in the recruiting class with Mr. Kirby Smart. What was Mr. Kirby Smart like in that first fall camp, if you can remember? Like, he always on the microphone and all energetic, jumping up and down when people get interceptions.
You want to do this?
Was he the same guy during fall camp? Only on Respect the Hedges, people. Y'all better tune in.
Real talk. As a freshman, when we both got in there, we probably had the same temperature as far as being a little bit timid. Kirby's coming from Bainbridge. He understands what's going on in Athens. That's a long way from Athens. He does have family ties. But when I look back on our experience, it was about respecting the elders. He had safeties he had to play behind. Kirby didn't come in and he wasn't given anything. Now, the one thing that they did give him a shot at was that punt return job, and we realized early that wasn't going to be the job for him. The safety spot was already full. Kirby was in there anxious to learn. I'll tell you this, Kirby couldn't have played for Kirby, but he'll tell you that. Just being real, the talent is not what we see at safety right now. But what he did have was a high level of intelligence. He was not afraid to stick his nose in on any fight, and he knew where to be and when to be there. So he was always an intelligent guy, which is why when I look at my head coach right now, I've got nothing but faith in him because I know the work is going to be put in. I know the attitude is there. I know he wanted to be a Bulldog, and you can't sell that any more than what you get right in front of us today. So, that kid, that hungry, that fight is still in him. Right now he just has the experience to go with it. He has the talent around him, and he understands how to build a program. So I'm extremely proud of my classmate and, anxious to see what he's going to do because the pressure doesn't let up.
That's right, man. Hey, man, listen, good stuff right there, man. Like I say, man, you only get to listen first-hand accounts right here, man, on Respect the Hedges, man. Listen, for our special hedges, man. That's right, for our special guest, Shelby, coming in here for the fan fight and taking one from the champ. She is now the champ. We're going to have to bring you back on to defend the title once some people get some wins under their belt, Shelby. So,
y'all gotta beat Shawty. Like, somebody gotta beat him besides me.
Hey, yeah, you got it. You got to beat Shawty to go see Shelby. So, take that with what you is. Hey, back next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Y'all better respect these hedges, man. And as always, for my co-host, Cool Hal, E-Rob, Shawty, CA,
yes, sir.
And Heena Patel, our own campus correspondent, and Katlyne Hill, our photographer. Respect these hedges and go Dogs.
Go Dogs.